Sawadika. This is Pashria, Brandnow.asia. Welcome to this episode of Business Insights, and I have with me the one, the only Mr. Paul Poole, legendary for his event sponsorship.
Thank you.
So thank you for making the time to join us today.
My pleasure.
All right, so let's dive in. Paul, how did you come about coming to Thailand? How did you get started?
Okay, well, I spent 15 years of my career working for large fashion brands. Wrangler, Levi's, Polo Ralph Lauren and Diesel. And I turned 30 in 2000 and decided I didn't want to be an old man working in fashion. So I jumped agency side and joined the board of Edelman and then later WPP. But I set my own consultancy up in London in 2002 and my consultancy here in Bangkok in 2004.
Okay, and of all places, what brought you to Thailand?
Well, I got married in London. My wife, now ex-wife, is Thai, and she was doing her PhD at Chelsea. And when she finished her PhD, she wanted to move back to Thailand, so I came with her.
Oh, excellent! So when you came, was the goal to go ahead and start doing the consultancy?
Actually, when I originally set up the company here in Thailand, it was to mirror what we were doing in London and being a general marketing consultant. But when I moved here full-time in January 2005, quickly found that nobody wanted to pay for advice. So I re-looked at the marketplace and saw that event marketing was a very popular and very successful tool for most marketers. But I was really quite shocked to see that although most events are 100% reliant on sponsorship, because it's very difficult to sell tickets at the correct level here, there wasn't anybody specialising in commercial sponsorship and partnership marketing. So I decided that's what my company would do, and that's all we have done for the past 15, 16 years.
Wow, awesome. You've been, we've been LinkedIn friends for some time, so yeah, definitely you've outlasted some of the other names that I've come across. So how was it the first year for you? Tell me about that.
Okay, well, actually we had one client before I moved here, so we had one client when I set the company up in 2004, and that was the Koh Samui Regatta. And in 2005, so in our full first year, we had 5 clients, and we delivered very successfully in that first year with about 27 sponsors per event. But fast forward to 2020, we have 58 clients, which probably equates to something like 300 events, and we still have 27 sponsors in each of those events. So really we're working with everyone.
Okay. Are you still working with the same sponsors that you've worked with since day one?
Yes, we have a number of those original clients are still clients, and a large number of the sponsors are still sponsored.
Okay, so tell me, who are the people coming to you usually?
Okay. Well, 90% of our business is working for rights holders, so people that need sponsors on the sell side. And when
share what that is. Who are rights holders?
Okay, so it could be an event, it could be a museum or a theatre. It could be a sports facility or a team or an individual athlete or artist. It can be anybody wanting sponsors. And then 10% of our businesses are working with brands on the buy side, so sponsors.
Okay, so some examples of some kind of brands?
I mean, it can be brands in any sector. So we work with a lot with the auto industry. We work with a lot with both alcohol and non-alcoholic beverage. We work a lot with telco. So it can really be multiple sections, including the government. We work a lot with both the Thai and regional government.
I see, for some of their events and stuff,
correct.
Right? Okay, so, and then you were telling me the split. So
yes, so I would say out of the 90% rights holders side, 80 to 90% of those are sport related. So we focus on sport. That wasn't by design, that's just by demand, because most money is spent in sport, in sponsorship globally. But we do have non-sport, so 10-20% is non-sport. So with sport, we work on all sectors, everything from football, rugby, to mass participation, marathons, triathlons, to yacht races. On non-sport, we do a lot of meetings, incentives, conventions and exhibitions, a lot of award ceremonies, but we also do entertainment, so for example theatre,
festivals.
Yeah, festivals.
Yeah, you mentioned that a little bit. So let's. I think some of the people out there who are watching, they're probably wanting to know, since you've been in this industry for so long, what would be your top 3 advice?
Okay. Well, the first piece of advice would be that sponsorship isn't free money. I think a lot of people make the mistake that they think that sponsors are benefactors, and they're not. They're looking for a return. So all sponsors are definitely looking for a return on objective, but most sponsors are looking for a return on investment.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because one of the things that you mentioned to me is about developing the objectives,
Sure.
right?
Sure. So it's critical that the event understands the sponsor's needs, and we've now moved on from just logos on walls. Sponsors want a return on investment, so they want to sell product at the event or through their sponsorship of the event or team or any other sponsorship activity.
It has to generate leads and bring money back.
Correct. So setting clear objectives is very important for the sponsor and also for the event. But equally, it's also very important that the sponsor understands the event and the participants of the event, because if they don't understand each other, it won't work.
Right. And how do they understand each other? What's key in that?
I think by talking and listening and really being guided. I mean, we've worked on, my goodness, probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of events. So we've made lots of mistakes and learned by them. So we put together activation plans for sponsorship for sponsors within their sponsorship in order to deliver their returns, in order to meet their objectives. And by doing that with the event, it benefits the event as well. So it's a win-win for both sides. Because a happy sponsor means that the event has been more successful and the participants have a better experience, etc.
Okay. And what would be your last tip?
I think evaluation. So we really need to evaluate the objectives and make sure that the returns have been met. So really working closely as a team. So three people in the team, the event, the sponsor, and ourselves, and looking at did their sponsorship work based on their objectives, and usually that's based on the returns of investment, not necessarily the return objectives. So people want to know, did I sell
Right.
at that event?
Right. Can you give me an example? I think we were talking a little bit about cars.
Yeah. So a while ago now, we worked extremely closely with Jaguar Land Rover. They were hesitant to sponsor yachting events at that time, and we had huge success. So we measured how much the sponsorship would cost them and what benefits they received and what returns they needed to justify that spend, and we exceeded each time on selling cars. So basically, it's not about having a car logo on a wall. It's about bums in seats, test driving those cars at the event, and really using the experiential opportunity awarded by the event.
Cool. That sounds really nice. I would like to try out a Jaguar too. So I was asking you a little bit earlier, how do you help to educate some of the license holders and brands?
Okay, well I think, rights holders are very good at managing their event. So most people that run events are very good at running their events, whether it's marathons or yacht races or trade shows. And sponsorship has historically always been a necessary evil. So it's something that everybody needs, perhaps isn't something everybody's got experience in. So I think anybody offering sponsorship should have experience in marketing, should have a grounding in all the marketing mix to deliver to the sponsors. Because if an event takes a sponsor and really doesn't know how to deal with that sponsor, and that sponsor has a bad experience, it's a knock-on effect, not just for that event, but for similar events. So I think that event rights holders need to address their professionalism in all areas of the event, not just delivering a great event.
Right.
We're fortunate that we have a lot of event companies hire us, so we take care of that for them.
Okay, I see. And you were telling me about the workshop that you do annually.
So for rights holders and brands, we run 4 one-day workshop days in September each year,
Okay.
2 for rights holders, 2 for brands,
Okay.
where people working in the industry can come and learn through real case studies and practical hands-on experience how to do sponsorship better.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So how will people be able to find you?
Okay, well, they can contact me through our website, www.paulpool.co.th.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
It's lovely to see you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
If we may be of service to you or someone you know, please reach out to us. Thank you and have a great day.